This is the first complete one so far. This is the principle of changing the maps. This is for block N17. Lalash. The way it works is, number 1, Black Birch Lake. Here is the Dene name. Ketuechuk. Number 2, Karine Lake. That's what the map is. The traditional name, Ketui Azi, if that's the correct way to say it. But in other words, here's what the map is about. The name on the original maps and the translation name. This is a way to pass it on to the next generation what the land is really called. And this is the first one done for block N17.
Kapitoh titsemonia sa lawyers, doctors, and tuniling stigay sinwag. Mix kesta magut, timagay wawiyaswata fortaskino. Iskutta stawihiki kapo. Kahkiogi wayoma, misteti wayawagan stawihigagitsik. Nina George Smith, mistet France McIntyre, agi stawihigia. Tosquat dietos, natoskiwin nan pogusagagi. Ispigan po magaskuti, utagagi natamak. Muimi got kap maguti gutamaning nistanan din panan.
I went through the ice because they released water and it more or less it froze a little bit. And I happened to be in a place where it was really treacherous, soft, and those guys that were driving, my partner, Floyd, Kinsey, and Carl Nabes, we were driving home with about 10 boxes of whitefish from Pine Bluff. And we went through the ice. And I walked out on the water. This is 40 below. And the water is up to the door. And when I walked out, I went through the ice. I said, oh, it's really cold. I think I'll be the only one walking around here. I'll break this ice and you guys can drive around. I broke all the ice. And then I checked on that truck. It had a darn flat tire. And I tried to change that flat tire in that cold water. By the time I got that jackal, it froze and it didn't want to do anything. And I walked back to that truck. It was already frozen. I walked on top. It was that hard. So I told the guys, I said, there's no way I'm going to do anything. And I had already got hypothermia from the day earlier because I had walking through slush water from this sudden spill. It was there when you know that you have a higher power. This man called Paul Satie drove in that night. And he said, there's somebody that needs my help. It was around close to 12 o'clock. He had a little guy with him called Timber, about a 6-year-old boy, or maybe 5. And he said, somebody's calling for my help. I said, I don't know, but you're a welcome sight anyway, so he put me in a truck. And after he put me in a truck, and I said to him, while the other guys were sitting out the truck, because we would have 3 people only fit in the truck, he said, I said to him, take me to the hospital. I think I'm not feeling good. He did. And as he was driving in at clinic, I told him, I says, I want to go home first. He says, well, gee, maybe you should make up your mind. But I want to wear clean shorts when I go to the hospital. I think I might have to end up going. But 4 days later, I woke up in the Nipawin hospital with double pneumonia, and I didn't really know what was going on. I was just about dead. If that guy wouldn't have made it there, thank you, Paul. 1 year later, that guy passed away, Paul Sati. But that's the reality of Cumberland House. When you have a hydroelectric generating station there, when the water level is fluctuating up and down, it's treacherous for the trappers and also the fishermen.
Ostaako joku tapiakan tiikis katta hiitsik, että muu saanut taptoa jaatsik. Tahtoa piikivi paitsakan kaap maatsakan humuussa. It mä sokas pahtaet miskana nuu sisoa. Ni suskaissa uitsivat. Vissa kahutti jaatsik. Kuinka tynemistä higi mikakis katta hiitsik. Vau tahan kuskaissa kun pahtaa ota Martin olisi haasu passi huhtaana Martin näiden haasu. Uttahan uskaissakin pahtaa sigit, että kun on muussa niin kan pahtaa, että tipnää sigit on muussa kan uskaissa kuista hoitu.Issa puja mutta jahti pitsit sigit, että kun tämä maan uksista tee muun ystävistä.
When you watch a beaver house along the river, in the fall time, you'll see the water going down. Right down. You could see that they're what we call a place where they come in and out. Itap pansik, pego pechik, awanay pansik, their drive. Anyways, you could see all of that exposed. And their feed bed also is high and dry. But then just before it really freezes up, they really bring out the water. And all their food is going downstream again. And then winter time, that beaver house is under the ice. Again, when we look into their houses to go and try and get them, they're dead because they've been drowned. It's a sad place.
Kuavaga muhti, tuoniksi suokasiski, niin tuskuun mastio. Puapu sootanigan häni pauit, puhuta eikä tiituhti, mitä tissi putti. Yksi säännöissä pami kauan me vastanuska, kuinka johti tää, oppini taaksta vannavagua. Tämä antoi nihtama, tämän sisittämään näyttää jättäskin.
Sanenash sarolani le kusanenash sade Pinterest aresa horelia dechen kanes tautu isiki kela benes sanela bitini ya desa horelia ikodi dechen kanes tau tu dali.
this whole concept of territorial government has to carry on. It's not going to be an overnight dream. It won't take a year. It might not take 5. It might take 10. We all have to work together with this idea because Saskatchewan is a big province and half of Saskatchewan is in the north. There is maybe 30,000 of us up here, but we have no say, very little say. We do have 2 MLAs from our area, Buckley and Keith, but they sit in a caucus with a bunch of non-native people who don't understand who we are, what we are, and what we want. So in the end, even if Buckley and Keith try to do something for us, they're usually voted down, immediately, because the NDP government has something like, 50 seats? And, you get 40 people against 2. I mean, they're not going to get far. So I encourage you to carry this dream. Talk about it amongst yourselves. Talk about it with your family. Talk about it in your community. And don't be shy. And I like to stress, especially to the older people, our elders, not to worry about, we're not separating from Canada. We only want our own territory like none of it has. So we could have more say and direct control with our resources.
Before they always took the money from our resources. That's why the roads go north-south. What we want now is the resources, any money that's taken from there, it has to come back to us. Our own treasury. Our own treasury.
Ano segwa nahipayo tawit sito ya ngway tito ya nien deskito iniun nien dapih tawusan wen nien muniasun moyak sa tito tamah putama mawatuskia.
An mai ta skutu naga pagita atu woni higiok goyawan mga mamontonan ki singita yotna maxus kwatuma Northern Saskatchewan ni hidok hapi toyusan ta tutti ko taskiti u kit no ti utna skiti to ichi u ahoga hido suswat hidan tu swat tamaswa.
So we ask that you support this gathering, and it's just by asking you to take a chance on possibly winning these prizes. And we just had a delegate arrive from Cumberland House, Clifford and Lily Carrier, came all the way from Cumberland House to take part in the river gathering. We welcome you.
Well, all I can say now is that I fully support what our people doing here. I fully support that we should try to have a territorial government. I support it 100%, and I'll help every which way I can. And I've said before this morning that there's no sense us sitting here with our hands out expecting the federal and provincial governments to give us money. They won't, especially when we're trying to start a territorial government. We have to help ourselves. We have to help each other, try to do every which way we can.
stay usuusvat. Nuhtin nagattamat no. Tabigis kwattami. Suusvat jaganum tamdoasik. Tas kutsumagisikutsihtaa. Aigas minne kidana ipmpatihana utas kutsukunaiditsigiuk. Simagansak. Luomes maskiki no. Mamstagis to lawyers simin. Kagaya no. University minagayana nagitante pedo. Snomatwigamugo. Akusigamugo. Kidante pedo kita patihta. Yo kanostinagatamato agistot mampaniditami. Piatak.
Isang danasya walula, niyo tsero waljana ko isang danais na dia, nadne adate na tani chili ne chorre, talo siya si hun oro isang danasi, nais na ne deyera, asi bangsa de dire, tindale banas nalia.
Kita pasti buitawih. Kisno nigano tipo tawih hot, tas kana nigat tawih hot, semua nanti tegis tapas. Iya wis tawih hot, segawis kita pas sunu gawih hot.